Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be showing you how to get onto Google Classroom, create a class, and a quick overview of how Google Classroom works. So before we go into anything, make sure you are signed into your Google Chrome account. Usually Chrome has an @gmail.com, or you might have a Hotmail. Either or will work for this. So Google Classroom, there are two ways to get onto it. You can either click on the waffle, you can scroll down, find Classroom, click on it, and it'll open. Or we can go up to the hotbar here, and we can go classroom.google.com/h. The /h just stands for homepage, if you are curious about that. So now we're here in Google Classroom. We don't have any classes, we haven't joined any classes, we haven't created any, we're not teaching, it's just a blank slate, clear canvas. So we have our classes. We also have a calendar of, this basically just shows when things are due. Goes by week. So this calendar is Monday to Sunday. It's a French one kind of setup, which makes no sense, but it's fine. You can see your archive classes, and then you also have your settings, which honestly, I wouldn't play around with these. These are pretty standard settings, which is basically what you want. Okay, then you have that same waffle that transfers over, and you can switch between different Google accounts with your Google Classroom if you wish. Alright, that's a brief rundown without any classes selected, created, joined, whatever. So there's two ways you can create or join a class. As of the moment, we have this option, but once we create a class, we will not have this option appear on our screen anymore. So you can either click this little plus button to join a class, and then you would type in the class code, usually 5 to 7 letters, numbers, symbols. Do not put in spaces because you will not be able to join that class. Or you can create a class, which is what we're going to do. You can either click create a class here, or you can come here and click create. This is basically stating, hey, if you're using this with students, please talk to your school division or university or whatever division you need to talk to, so it's provided through them. I am not using this with students, so I'm going to click the checkbox saying I've read and understood the above notice, and I'm not using Classroom at a school, university or university with students. So we're going to continue. So now we are here. We are now in the dashboard to create our class. Basically, the only thing that is actually required on this page is your classroom name. Otherwise, that is the only thing you need to type in here. I'm going to call mine tutorial class because this is all I'm using this classroom for. You can put in a section for like if it's a block, if it's a term, if it's a semester, whatever. I don't really need that due to the factor I'm not using this with students. You can type in the subject. So say if I was teaching math, I would put math in here, or if I was teaching science, I'd put science in here, or I'd put ELA B10, ELA A10 if I was teaching grade 10 English, that kind of thing. Lastly is your room. This is what you'd put your room number, and unless you don't have a room, because I know some teachers have used this for virtual learning, well then you can't really put in your room number. And then I'm just going to click create. You can cancel this, but if you're trying to create a class, I don't think you would want to necessarily cancel what you've just done. Alrighty. I don't know why you popped me there. Alrighty, so we're here. We have a tutorial class. So now there are these two boxes that have appeared. So we can go to that calendar, which is where we were here, or we can go to review. This to review area is basically an area to see all the assignments posted in your classes that have a due date. So basically, you can click on assignments, and once they are completely marked, you can click reviewed, and then they are off of this page. So it's basically stating that they are marked. You can go through classes one by one if you have more classes. I will come back to this just to show you what it looks like once there's an actual assignment posted. Alright, and now we have these 3 little dots once we get back to our homepage of Google Classroom that basically say we can copy the invitation link, we can edit it, we can copy it, which if we copy it, it'll just create a whole new class with the same assignments, same everything, same announcements, but they are all saved as drafts. Nothing is posted yet. It's just basically like everything is there, not posted. It's all just ready to go. Or we can archive it. If you choose to archive your class, basically everyone can still see it if they go into their archive classes. It's not deleted. It's kind of just like a keepsake. And if you want to refresh it, basically bring your class back. So say I accidentally archived it, didn't want to archive it, whoopsie daisies. I'm going to go to my archive classes. Once this loads, archived, oh, my computer wants to be stingy today apparently. So we are going to go to archived classes, click on this class, and see it's all here. Still the same, we can see the mark, see the people. If we had classwork here, we probably would be able to see it. Basically, it's kind of just chilling here. We can see the old class code for it, but that's not what we want to see, so we can enter it like that. But if we go to archive classes, we can click these 3 dots and click restore. We can also delete it, but I'm going to restore it for now. All right. Now we're going to click on it and open this up. See, this is our class information where it shares our class code, and if we had a class description and stuff like that, it would also appear there. Alright, so this is basically your home page of your class. This is where your announcements will show, your class code, any upcoming work that is due in the coming weeks. If you click this button here, I want to really, really emphasize this. You can copy your class code, you can copy the class invite link, you can restore class code, or you can turn it off. I usually turn it off because I don't turn it off always, but like for this, I would turn it off because I don't want people to join this class. Or you can reset the class code, which will basically just give you a brand new code to use, but I'm going to turn this off so no one joins this class that I do not want, because I will not be using this class. Alright, whoops, I clicked a button. So this is your banner, pretty straightforward, has your name, this is your banner. If you want to write an announcement, you can click here and you can there's the tutorial trying to take over. You can say there's a test on Friday. Oh, okay. Just as a reminder, you can say test on Friday. You can attach a link. You can upload a file, add a YouTube video, add something from Google Drive, bullet point things, remove formatting, underline, italic, bold. You can also select for which students see this message, so not all the students have to see this message. You can cancel the post, you can post it, you can schedule it, or you can save it as a draft. If you schedule it, it'll be scheduled for a set time and date, and then it'll post at those times. If you save it as a draft, it'll just be saved as a draft and you can go back to it whenever. If you click post, it'll just show up here. See? Test on Friday. You can add a comment. So say I forgot to say what unit it's on. I could say unit 124. Say if I forgot that, I could say units 1 to 4, and now everyone can see that comment and they'll know what units I was talking about. That's a brief summary of this. You can also reuse a post from another class, which I do not have another class created, so I am unable to share this feature, but if you were to click this, you could click the class and then you could click on the post. And then create new copies of all attachments you can do and stuff like that. Just a reminder that Google Classroom does go by military time. So if you're so confused because if say you want something to be due at 3:30 and now it's due at 3:30 a.m., it's military time, not standardized time. Just to keep that in mind. So say I don't like this banner. This banner is hideous. It isn't, but just say that's what I'm thinking for this class. It just doesn't work, makes no sense. So I can click this customize bar right here and I can customize my banner. I can also customize my words. So I can click these buttons and it'll change my text words. See, it changes these boxes to the color. Let's do pink, sure. I don't care. So we can either select an image, which it'll bring up a whole bunch of different customized images pre-created by Google Classroom. So we'll just do this one. Then I can hit select class theme. There's a whole bunch of others, different topics, so many different themes. It's not even funny. So I'm gonna say use this one. I think I said I was gonna use select class theme. My class theme changed. Say I still want that pink text color's back. If I want to, I can upload a custom made pre-created photo for this. I can pre-created everything for a banner, which honestly that is your choice if you wish to do. But do you remember this, you must have it saved to your desktop or laptop or whatever device you are using, and it also must be 200 pixels. It can't be more and it can't be less. It's pretty stingy sometimes, this app. Alright, make sure you click save on anything that you're doing or you're going to be in trouble. And for some odd reason, my computer likes to teleport me around a little bit today. Alrighty, so that's a brief undertaking. So the settings cog appeared along with the stream, classwork, people, and marks at the top of our screen when we clicked on it. And it also says what classroom we are in. So this settings cog is very important. So if we click on this, we have our class details, general information, and marking information. So class details, say you change your mind, you choose to put in what block it is. So say you're teaching block 1. You can put your block 1 in there. And you can simply change, you can add a class description, whatever. It's not permanent once you create the class. Invitation codes, you can turn them back on, or you can keep them off. Your stream is also here, so you can have it set for students can post in the stream. Students can only comment, or only teachers can post and comment. Say if you don't want your students posting in there. Classwork on the stream shows attachments and details, shows condensed notifications, hides notifications for the classwork on the stream. So if you don't want your classwork assignments to show up on your basically on your announcements page, click hide notifications. Show deleted items. Only teachers can view deleted items. So say if you delete an item and you don't and you want to bring it back, you have 30 days to do so if this is selected on. Manage your meeting link, classroom meet link. Classroom meet links offer added features. So this is an added feature with your school division. It's basically like a Zoom meeting or like a FaceTime call, just it's over an app on Google called Google Meets. Okay, so this is something I want to emphasize very, very much. It's called a marking system. So this is mark calculations. So you can have an overall mark, no overall mark, I mean. You can have total points or weighed by category. Be very careful with how you put this. It all depends on your marking style. I usually leave it at total points. And you can also show overall marks to to your students. So if they want to see their mark, they can see their overall mark as of the moment. You can also create a marking category. So say I create um a lot of assignments and I want them to be out of 4 points. So say these are we'll say they're review assignments and there were 4 points. I can click this and this will be a marking category, which I will further explain when we create an assignment. But make sure if you want to keep all of this that you just changed, you click save. And then the little bar will go, and then you're brought back to wherever you were before you hit the settings cog. Alrighty, so we have 4 things at the top. We have a classwork section. Apparently it wants to teleport me. So we have a classwork section, a people section, and a marks section. So the marks section will basically just look like a giant table if you have a student in your class. A humongous table, you can go through it, it'll say the assignments and it'll say the student's name on the side and the assignments at the top. You can go through and see each of the marks that the student got for that assignment. If you have students in the class, of course. People, you can invite other teachers to your class just by searching up their email. Or you can add other students to the class just by searching up their email, of course. And a fun part about this is if you have a student in the class, you can have a selected guardian for them. So you can click add guardian. You can email them through this way. There's tons of things you can do with this feature. Alrighty. So this is the big part. This is where everyone gets very confused, very kind of like, oh no, there's so many more tabs, so much here. Really, there isn't much different here. It's pretty standard and pretty simple. So we have a class drive folder. If I just open this up and let me just switch my. Ooh, how do I switch this around? Alrighty. Anyways, it'll just open up a Google Drive class folder. I don't know if you guys saw that or not because I am using a different app this time. But anyways, it'll just open up a Google Drive folder and that is where all your classwork assignments will be held. So anything that you've posted here will be there. Students' assignments, your pre-created templates, everything. You can open up the Google Calendar, which is basically the calendar that we saw earlier, and that'll just have all your due dates in there when things are posted, etc. Alrighty. So this little guy's here basically saying there is no topics, there's no organizers, there's no classwork, there's no materials, nothing. So we have to create stuff. So if we click on the create button, we have 6 options. Yep, 6 options. We have an assignment, a quiz assignment, question, material, reuse post, and topic. So the first thing I'm going to go over is a topic. So if I click on topic, I can add a topic. So say it's unit 2 equations, we'll say for instance. And then I can add it. Or like I did, I hit the enter bar to add it. So students won't see the topic unless you add classwork to it. You can if you click these dots here, you can delete it, you can copy the link, or you can rename it. This bar comes up on your side saying all topics because you just added in a topic. You can have as many of these as you want. So say I have unit 3 multiplication. You teachers will probably be coming at me because of how great my spelling is today. Say I want unit 3 to be under unit 2. I can hold the click button and drag it underneath and it'll just move underneath unit 2 and it'll also switch around on your sidebar here. Alright, so now that we've learned about topics, I'm going to show you what a material is. So we can reuse a material. So say I posted something in this tutorial class. I haven't yet, but say I posted something, I want to reuse it, but I want to reuse it with a different, that's a bad example. So if I have a separate class, say I have a different tutorial class, block 2, and I want to reuse something from block 2 here, I can go into my block 2 class and I can click on that assignment, create new copies of all the attachments, and click reuse once I've clicked that assignment. It's very straightforward, very standard. Alright, so now we're going to start off with this assignment. So if I click on assignment, I get brought to this page here, which this page, there's a lot going on here, I won't lie. The only thing that is actually required to be set in stone on this page is actually a title. So say this is my first introduction assignment, we'll say. I meant not assignments. So you can put in instructions. This is optional. So say I want them to complete questions 1 to 6. That'll be in there and they'll have those instructions. You can choose to bold them, italic, underline, put some bullet points in, remove the formatting. Those options will stay the same throughout all of this. You can choose to add something from your drive. So if I click this button, a screen will pop up. I can add something from my drive. See, I can scroll here. Say I want to reuse this assignment. Basically, what this will do is it'll put down here. See, I have the option to let students view this assignment. Students can edit or make a copy for each student. So If you want them all to complete it individually, you have to make a copy for each student. If you want them just to view the file and not do anything with it, this is what you'd do. But if you want each student to complete the assignment that's already on the slides or Google Docs, you will have to make a copy for each of the students. You can add in a YouTube video. You can create a doc, a slides, a sheet, a drawing, a form. You can upload something from your computer or add in a link, which are all very helpful. These options will be very standardized and the same all throughout. You can you can switch these classes, say which class is for, or if you want this assignment to be posted in two separate classes as well as this one, you can also click here and click all the classes that you want to apply. All students, you can choose which students get this assignment or receive it, or you can just leave it at all students. This is pretty standard. Marking category. So say I want this to be in my review assignments. I want this to be a review assignment. I can click that marking category. The points will change automatically. It'll be under that category for when I go to mark things. I can set a due date, and this is what I mean when I'm talking about military times. So say I want it to be due for the 12th. I will have to put in a time frame. This is 24-hour time. I can't do 3:30. If I do 3:30, it's going to be AM. So say I want it to be 3:30 in the afternoon, so you'd have to go 15:30. That is this is military time, so please keep this in mind when you are scheduling and posting and setting up due dates. You can put this under a topic. Say we'll put this under our equations topic. You can even add in your own rubric. You can create a rubric using Google Classroom, reuse a rubric from one of the assignments previous in the classroom, or import one of your Google Sheets, which I will explain more about Google Sheets in a separate video. Okay, our assignment's done. We have everything set up, and now we want to post it, or we can either post, schedule, or save this as a draft, or just delete it entirely. The option to delete it entirely will always be there. We can save this as a draft, or we can schedule it, or we can assign it. So if we click assign, it'll just post right away. Say I want to schedule this. So this little bar will come up. Say I want to schedule it for the 6th, because my due date's on the 12th. I can set it for March 6th at 8 o'clock in the morning. Perfect. And then all I have to do is click schedule. This is now scheduled for that time, so it'll post at 8 o'clock on March 6th. Do keep in mind, daylight savings time is still in effect when I am creating this video, so if daylight saving times is in effect, it might not post exactly at 8 for you, dependent on where you create your assignments. So keep that in mind if you are teaching and some of your students are halfway across the world right now. Alrighty, that's the assignment. Quiz assignment is the exact same thing, exact same layout, everything. Everything is the exact same. The only difference is a blank quiz will show up. You can click on this quiz and edit it completely. It's all the same except you just get a blank quiz. You can open up the quiz and edit that quiz. Alrighty, the next thing is a question. This is not similar to anything. As you see, there's a lot more different things. So everything's the same. You have your instructions, you have these bars at the bottom, your same formatting options, your marking category, who it's for, a due date, and what topic you want to put it under. I'll put this under the unit 3, say for instance. You can put students can reply. So make sure students can reply to this. Make sure they can reply to this. But if you don't want students to answer each other, just uncheck this little box here. If you don't want students to edit their answers, make sure you have these boxes unchecked, or else they will be able to. Say I want to put this under the same marking category, make it easy for myself. Alrighty. So there's two options with the question. So say I want to put what is an equation. I can have a short answer, so they'll be able to write a short answer. I can have a multiple choice answer where they choose one of the following answers. So I can type in my answer like this, an expression letters and numbers divided by an equal sign. Alrighty, so say I want to do this, I can post it or I can even do the short answer still. I'm just going to click ask so I can show you these other things. Sorry about my computer being very sketchy today. It doesn't want to work properly. Alrighty, not what I meant to do. Oh yes, if you want to, you can even just highlight those certain units and you can just see those little bits of it. The last thing is a material. A material basically has a lot less. You can attach anything like before, you can add optional description to it. It's basically like instructions. You can use the same formatting. Title will always be mandatory, so say this is unit notes. You can choose your topic, so say I want to put it under unit 3. You can select which students it goes to, but the only difference is students cannot turn this in nor edit the materials. You can click it so they can edit it, but usually materials are used for students to just view them so they have them available to them. You can schedule it, you can save it as a draft, everything like before. So I'm just going to post this very quickly. And apparently it's going to just boot me out of Google Classroom. That is very fun. Alrighty. So we have a couple of things here. Say for instance, I meant to put my question, what is an equation, under unit 2, which was actually equations, not multiplication. I can hold this and drag it up here, or I can click these 3 dots, click edit, and I can change the topic this way. That is also an option. Just make sure you click save before you leave that tab. Alrighty, so say this just got assigned. Whoops. So I can click edit. Say I needed to post, not at this time. I'm going to just click that X to cancel the scheduling and just click assign. Easy, simple, just like that. I can see who has handed in and who has handed in, who has not. If I had a students in the class, I could click this and it would pop up the student list and I can see who has and who has not actually handed in this assignment. That is pretty straightforward. Now that this is all gone through and done, so say I want to review all the assignments for block 1. Say say all the students handed this in, I've marked them all, everything's done with this assignment. I can click these. All right. Also, if you're wondering how I got there, I just click these 3 dots and you can click to review this way. We have no due dates, then we have work in progress. So say this is all done and over with, I want to get rid of it, I can click these 3 dots, click mark as reviewed. Then I can go to the reviewed tab and see that it's here. Say I wasn't actually fully done with this. It will tell you what date it was due on. But say I wasn't actually fully done with this, I can actually click these 3 dots and mark as not reviewed. So then I'll just go back to my to review topic so that way I know what I still need to mark. This was my quick, kind of brief overview of how Google Classroom works, how classes work, how to create assignments, how to create announcements, what every little tidbit means, and just basic information on how to use it just to get you going and to get your feet wet into using Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a great tool, I believe, to use with your students. It's also very simple, easy, and standardized to use. So, with that all being said, I hope you found this video helpful and you were able to find some use from it. I hope you have a good day and I'll catch you next time. Bye.